Jones, and you are watching Joburg Today.
If you're keen on golf, why not try a new interpretation of the game by exchanging this traditional golf ball for this? It's called Footgolf.
What is foot golf?
Well, foot golf in a nutshell is a combination of the sport of golf and the sport of football, and is played on a golf course using the same rules as golf, but the competitive difference obviously is that we use a bigger ball and our holes are bigger, and that's it. It's basically what we call a hybrid sport, so it's a combination of those two sporting codes.
I mean, where did this originate from?
In the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, to be specific. I mean, in 2009, I think people started playing foot golf there for recreational purposes, and it started picking up, and they started realizing the beauty behind the sport itself and how adaptable it is and how people can be able to enjoy the sport.
And how did it end up here in Joburg?
Well, I have a friend called Arthur Batista who actually was a football coach who came across the sporting code, and in 2014 started foot golf in South Africa. And over the years he just called me and said he needed help to grow the sport, and I joined him and we started working on the sport itself. He's left the country now, so it's now left on my shoulders to try and promote and develop the sport within the country. So we've been doing this since 2014, but mostly it started as a recreational thing. People were just playing for fun, coming for their bachelor parties, coming to just bring the family along and kids to be able to be on the golf course, which is one of the things that we always joke about, is that somebody says, I'm going to the golf course, and the wife says, I'll bring the kids, and they go play foot golf while he plays golf, because you can do it concurrently on the same course.
So what changed its trajectory from a recreational sport to the fully fledged sporting association?
So the International Federation for Foot Golf, FIFG, started indicating that they wanted to grow the sport to be an Olympic sport, for example. And so therefore we needed to actually structure ourselves in a way that demonstrated we're a fully functional federation that is competitive. That doesn't take away the recreational component, that doesn't take the leisure component of foot golf, but what our focus is as a federation is to try and make sure we have members, we have people who play consistently, and we have competitive leagues that people can participate in so they can go into the tournaments and the championships, and obviously to select a national team from that.
Why don't you give us a breakdown of the tournaments and the games that will be taking place during the course of the year?
Okay, so for example, we just launched the round of 16 Foot Golf League, which basically in summary is people have exactly 16 weeks to play at least 8 rounds of foot golf, and during those 16 weeks they must keep sending us their results. And as they play, they send us the results, and the ones that perform the best, we invite them to the first tournament, which is probably at the end of July. I think the 31st of July will be the first tournament where the top players are going to compete amongst each other to see who's the best, and obviously they have their prize money for that one. And then we move on to another 16 rounds, and those that win at the second 16 round automatically merge with the ones that have won the first round, or if there's more that are coming through, we're able to then take them to the national championships, which would be in February 2023. And at that championship, then we are going to be able to select people who can represent the country, because there's a World Cup in the USA, in Disney, in 2023 by end of May. So we're hoping during this period we're going to increase membership, increase participation, and find the best players that we can find.
Now, for anyone who's interested, obviously there's a cost that's associated with it. So is it really an expensive sport?
Oh, no. I think one of the advantages that we have is that it's really an inexpensive sport. All you basically need is a pair of indoor soccer boots or techies. And we just use a size 5, normal size 5 ball, and I'm sure every home has a ball. So you have the ability to then just be able to practice on your own. On the golf courses, all we need to do is create a 56 centimeter hole, which is never on the green. It's on the side in the roughs, because a ball will roll anywhere you place it. So we are able to then place the hole strategically in the same place area around the normal golf holes, and you get to play. That's why I said you could be playing golf while somebody else is playing foot golf. and you don't interfere with anybody's play, because the etiquette of golf is what we follow. We follow the rules of golf, we follow the rules of golf courses, but the only difference is that we are faster because our ball is bigger, and we don't really have to have a caddy, choose clubs, search for the ball. I mean, if it lands in the water, it floats, and you can retrieve your ball, unlike it goes plonk in golf. So that's the fundamental difference. I mean, it can generate more people, and it's one of the selling points that we tell to golf courses, is to say to them, you can actually have a second revenue stream through Footgolf, because now your target market is broader, and you have a wider variety of people coming, and to help the golf courses actually to be more sustainable, more profitable. And I mean, when we have tournaments, the numbers are larger, obviously, because it's a faster game.
Speaking of golf courses, what's been the uptake from their side?
So fortunately, in Gauteng, or in Johannesburg specifically, we have at least 4 golf courses within the vicinity. And fortunately, there's only one that is a private golf course, which is the Rand Park. We had an 18-hole at the Bush Willow. But now we have a 9-hole at the Creek 9 Mashi course, which is here in Roosevelt Park. Then Huddle Park has still got a 9-hole Mashi course as well. We've got our own training center, which is Olifantsfontein Sports Grounds. We've got another 9-hole. So we've converted a municipal space to actually accommodate a 9-hole foot golf course. And the most beautiful one, obviously, is we've got an Urban Life Church in Midrand that have converted an open space that they had into a pristine foot golf course. It's just purely foot golf on that place. So we have opportunities for people to participate, and we have been engaging with all the municipalities through SALGA to say to them, can we allow ourselves to go into those different provinces and say where they have golf courses, either the ones that are struggling or open spaces that they want us to develop. The opportunities are vast, there are many, and so we don't want to limit the conversation around where we're going to have foot golf. So we've been engaging provinces. I mean, we were speaking with Northwest yesterday to try and finalize their structuring of foot golf in that particular space.
Is it a team sport by any chance?
No, and yes. So for example, as you would know, because like golf, you play as an individual, but you could go as a team and compete against another team or another country, but it's always going to end up being an individual sport that one plays. And so we always encourage people to have a 4-ball. So they always tee off as 4 people, because on the scorecard, they have the opportunity to then monitor each other, push each other, and encourage each other to play the best game that they can.
Now, one of the most interesting things whilst we were chatting amongst ourselves was that you said that foot golf goes beyond just the sport itself.
Oh yes, oh yes. So we have an internal joke in Footgolf South Africa. We call Footgolf the first democratic sport in South Africa, on the basis that it merges what is called the elite world of golf and the more popular mass-based sport of football. And it creates that opportunity for us to have that conversation of going into a new world for everybody. I mean, imagine a soccer player on a golf course, being comfortable in his own space in terms of they're surrounded by equipment that he's thriving on, but going into a new environment on a golf course, and now golf players seeing a ball on a golf course also plays around in their mind, and they're seeing people smiling more because it's less strenuous on the mind, because it's really just kick the ball and find the hole. And so it's a new conversation that we can have. It's a new sport. So one of the things that we always celebrate is that because we have been in the sports sector for such a long time, we're trying not to have the baggage of other sporting codes. So we don't have any historic baggage. So we're not going to now struggle with issues of gender equity. So women who play foot golf get the same prize money as men. So if it's 5,000 Rand for that tournament, it's 5,000 Rand for men and women. There's no age classification. Even though we might have categories, everybody can play foot golf. I mean, the fun part is that this weekend we've been asked by the Gogos who play football to come play foot golf. One of the teams wants to come play foot golf, and we're preparing for that, to say they want to have their own serious leagues as older people, and there's nothing wrong with that because they're already playing football, and so kicking is not their problem. Now it's about teaching them about the undulations of the course and understanding the different temperament. But again, it's an open sport, it's a new sport, and we're hoping young people who are looking for opportunities to take their craft, who studied sports science, sports management and whatnot, can come into the space and be able to run a sporting code from its onset without having to worry about do they fit in, and where they're placed within the system.
For anyone who wants to follow up more on Footgolf, where can they look for that information?
I think they'll find us on our website, which is footgolfsa.co.za, and our social media platforms have got the same Footgolf SA tagline that they'll be able to find us and follow. And so we are freely available, and we are hoping to expand and give other people an opportunity to register to be members of Footgolf, to be professional players, and we'll have a developmental conversation around it as well as much as a competitive one.